welcome back to this weekend spent with Linkin Park. Today's song is In the End, and I understand it has become one of their most recognizable hits and is even considered their signature song. So, after yesterday's song, now I'm going to listen to another important big one of theirs. Another recognizable, singable, introductory.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. Oh.
That's interesting. So I was getting all set to listen to something really lyrical. Well, actually, I was going to say that yesterday's song also had a singable, interesting, noteworthy melodic feature at the beginning in the introduction to that piece. So this is another one where we hear the same approach, a singable, relatable melodic feature. But this one was a bit more surprising where it ended up so quickly. It really took a quick detour.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why.
Right here.
It doesn't even matter how hard you try.
And maybe the video clip anticipates this a bit, because what we see here, you get the idea that it's going to be a meditative, even religious toned reflection, and then it jumps to something else. But this comes before the music tells us that.
It starts with...
Here is where the music is telling us or helping us get this idea. Da da bum 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 da da dum bum 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 bum, and then a pause. Oh, nice. It starts with, and we're ready to sink into something expressive and reflective and tending towards the profound and... No, not true.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away.
Listen, because you still hear bum bum bum. In fact, let's before we go on, let's get this on the harp so that we can pick it out as we go through the piece, because it's becoming a notable feature. Okay, so this is what I'm listening to. Okay, and that is what the piano is giving us. Down here in the introduction, I'm going to play it up here because it cuts through and is easier to hear, but I think I noticed also they took it up there in a sort of flute or organ flute tone a little ways down the road. So let's start here and see where we go.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried it.
Isn't that kind of nice, the way they have taken that? And it's not following the exact rhythm as we heard, but it's recognizable enough pitch-wise. While all this rhythmic delivery of the lyrics is coming out, and the rest of the band is really more rhythmic and percussive and fast-paced, to have this calm, smooth, sort of descant type line above it is a nice way of blending the two and joining it all together. Now I'm going to go back and listen to this again, more focused on the main part of the music. In other words, the singer and the other instruments. But that awareness is now in our ears of, oh yeah, that peaceful influence at the top is nice.
No, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far.
So it's interesting to notice that this song feels like a follow-up to the song which I listened to yesterday, although it turns out that, well, I see the date on this is 2000, so this came before. So yesterday's song at least was released afterwards, a few years afterwards. But it feels like, remember yesterday was about the pressures facing young people and how it feels to try to choose your own way when you know that it's not exactly what perhaps your parents or the other people who love you think is good for you. Now here, it starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time all I know. Time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. And so it's this sort of meditation or monologue about time, the passing of time, and then trying to hold on. I didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. Well, of course, we could apply this to different scenarios as well, but it feels like a good follow-up to yesterday's song. It really does. What will happen if we don't find ourselves and remain true to ourselves in our life choices? It's going to fall apart in the end, because trying to hold it together, something that isn't our own, doesn't belong to us really, is someone else's ideal. It just doesn't work in the long run. And we lose so much of our life trying to meet other people's expectations and accomplish what they wish for us to do. And we can broaden this out and say, all right, forget about the whole young people trying to go to college and become successful. Let's think about ourselves, myself. What do I spend my life doing? How much time in my life do I invest in just trying to please other people, just for the sake of pleasing other people and not being true to myself? Well, I think we all have that to think about and consider. And I think we all recognize that, at least most of us, we do spend some time merely trying to please others just because we don't want to disappoint them, although it may not be what we need for ourselves. And so this is also speaking to all of us, and not just those of us who are at that point in our lives where we're choosing how the rest of our life will go. But in the end,
it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all.
Again, this
But in
idea
the end, it doesn't even matter.
Again, this idea comes back of there is going to be failure, one way or the other. Either you fail in the end when you can't hold it all together, or you fail along the way as you learn to grow into who you really are. But I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Those are some pretty important ideas to keep in mind as we think about how we relate to ourselves and the world around us, and what we're doing with our time and energy.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself
Do
how
you hear
I
that little
tried
tweak
so
up on top again?
hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I
With
was
this
part of your
rhythm underneath.
property. Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far.
And as I'm listening to this, and the way it's developing in the lyrics and how the music is focusing it, I think it's pushing it more towards a relationship that's fallen apart. But it's not really strongly in that context to the point where we can't apply it to these other ideas that have come to me along the way. This idea of I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard in spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me. I'm surprised it got so far. That could be a lover's relationship. It could be a parent-child relationship. It could be a student-teacher relationship. It could be a sibling relationship. It could be it could even be a business relationship. It could be any kind of relationship in which there was this imbalance, unevenness in personality, and not clear communication and not open communication between the parties. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons that this song is so popular, because it kind of fits any place it needs to.
What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you.
Oh, now we're getting back to sort of meditation or even revelatory.
There's only one thing you should.
The music here is shifted to where it sounds almost like, I don't know, revelatory or looking out at the universe. The one person just looking out and surveying all the space around us. And actually, I want to go back and see what is happening in the video clip here, because I wasn't looking at it. I had my eyes closed, or I was looking at the lyrics, looking away from the screen. But I saw, as I went to touch it, that it seemed to be kind of a scene where there is a sort of grand setting. But the music itself is setting us up for that, isn't it? You hear how it shifted. And there are some distinct styles and emotional states expressed in this music. We have the reflective state, which we heard at the beginning. Then we have this high energy, aggressive. To me, it doesn't really sound terribly angry, but there is a sort of frustration which comes through in that sort of rapid paced delivery of text, isn't there? You think of, where do you hear people speaking so fast? It's usually when they're a bit heated, isn't it? and so there's that element there, and then it comes back to this. Now it shifts to, again, it's not the same sort of meditative quality, but it's not all, neither is it the explosive, everything pouring out as fast as it can. It's maybe a more panoramic view or universal, looking out at the universe around us and recognizing our place in it.
It doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know.
It's there. Same thing.
I've put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can
roaring guitars again.
go.
So this little musical motif that is showing up again. It's actually serving as the glue to hold this all together. It shows up in every single one of the musical sections, stylistic, emotionally different portions of the piece. But that same motif shows up in each one somewhere, somehow. Something continuous throughout the entire piece. Which is really quite important considering we have such a vast difference in stylistic elements in this piece.
As I can go for all this, there's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Here we are again. Piano growing louder. Even the video clip is expressing the same sort of zooming out and finding our place in the universe feeling that the music gives us there in that ending section. And the message is pretty straightforward, isn't it? It doesn't matter how hard you try to please people who really don't care about you. You're not going to gain anything by it. Probably will lose everything by it. And it matters nothing to them at all. And it matters nothing to you in the sense that it gives you nothing of substance. All that effort, nothing to gain by it. All that sacrificing of you and your identity and nothing to gain by it. So it's a straightforward message. Fairly straightforward piece, but really a lot of contrasting textures and styles throughout the piece. There's the rapid delivery, which I am going to classify as kind of a rap style, although that's coming from someone who really doesn't know what rap is. Other than that, I know that it's usually a fairly rhythmic delivery of text, but I'm going to call it rap-like. And then we have the more religious toned or meditative toned portion. And then we have this grand view, one small person here looking out at the universe around us and realizing, why am I doing this to myself? I have my own place here, and I have something here which belongs in this universe. And I'm so small and so insignificant, and yet here I am. That's kind of how the music makes me think of this at the end. It's not really voiced in the lyrics. It's not saying, I matter. But the music is saying, yes, I do matter. As small and insignificant as I am in the grand scheme of things, I am me. I am not yours. I am not you. I am me. And so, back to the conversation of who's in the driver's seat here? Is it the lyrics, the message of the lyrics? Is it the music? Is it the performer's interpretation of it? What is driving this piece, and who is filling a supporting role, and who is taking the lead? I still think the lyrics are the ones giving this piece its meaning, its substance. But compared to yesterday, where it was all about the lyrics and the music was kind of disposable, here the music is much more important and serving a more active role in our perception and our understanding and our experience of what is being said in the text itself. And so there's a bit of give and take here. The lyrics carry the message, the music illuminates and enhances the meaning of the lyrics. It's not a piece where you could listen to the music all on its own without any lyrical content and really gain exactly what it's talking about. But we certainly wouldn't experience these lyrics as we did without this particular musical setup here. So that is Linkin Park In the End from 2000. Nice follow-up from yesterday's from 2003, but still it feels like a nice follow-up to me. And an enjoyable and engaging weekend of exploring their music and seeing how they handle the music versus the lyrics and the message, and what do they value the most in their artistic output. And definitely it seems to me that their strength is choosing topics that are relevant and meaningful to their audience and delivering them in a way that is very relatable and helps to express and maybe even clarify in the audience's minds what it is that they're experiencing and what it is that they're dealing with in their own lives. So it's a very focused, clear approach towards their audience. So that is Linkin Park, and I'll see you next time, whenever and with whomever I listen to.